Welcome back, football fans. Fire in today's video. Manchester United frustrate Arsenal at Old Trafford, putting a huge dent in their title hopes and giving Liverpool a massive boost in the race for the Premier League trophy. Bruno Fernandes steps up, Christian Eriksen defends his teammate, and Keane drops a worrying prediction for the Red Devils. Bruno Fernandes and Man United frustrate Arsenal as Liverpool title grows nearer. 5 talking points. Declan Rice dragged Arsenal level with 16 minutes remaining at Old Trafford. But ultimately a point wasn't what the Gunners were after, and they're now 15 behind Liverpool. Gunners midfielder Rice fired in off a post to level the scores after being found by Jurrien Timber. But Arsenal were ultimately unable to turn their possession into clear-cut chances on a frustrating afternoon for Mikel Arteta. A low-quality first half had been livened up in stoppage time when Bruno Fernandes took advantage of David Raya and his Walls positioning to open the scoring with a free kick, before Raya saved brilliantly from Noussair Mazraoui in the second half. After Rice leveled the scores in the second half, the England midfielder put in a superb challenge to block a golden chance for United sub Rasmus Højlund, before Leandro Trossard immediately fired a good chance wide for the visitors following a fast break. And Fernandes brought a superb save from Raya late on when he should have scored. A threadbare squad which doesn't look fit for purpose. Amorim saying the main aim of this game was surviving it, and Gary Neville and Keane popping up on the television to make the same old noises they always make. There was a lot about the build-up to this that looked familiar. But change isn't going to happen at United without fans voting with their feet, and the supporters who staged the huge anti-Glazer protest outside Old Trafford before the match had every right to do so. You can say that they've tried this before, notably before the Liverpool game in August 2022, and nothing happened then, but in the week that former United goalkeeper Tim Howard launched a fierce defense of Old Trafford's absentee landlords, it seems that the wider message still needs to get through to some. Nothing will change at United until the club are free of their current owners, and a separation in the near future surely has to be best for all parties. This has all gone on far too long. This used to be the fixture of flying pizzas which would determine the destination of the title, but this was a pale imitation of those remarkable pitch battles of yore, with a distinct lack of quality on show in the first half. The injuries on both sides don't help with that, of course, and Arsenal have had a much better season than United, as you can see with one look at the league table, but it was striking just how poor it was. The Gunners were the game's dominant force for the opening 45 minutes, but the lack of creativity and ideas. Manchester United get injury boost as Amorim gives Lenny Euro update and makes Aiden Heaven prediction. 10 Man United players missed the spirited 1-1 draw with Arsenal through injury, while Patrick Dorgu was suspended. Manuel Ugarte could return for Manchester United in their Europa League round of 16 second leg against Real Sociedad on Thursday. Ugarte missed the first leg draw and the 1-1 stalemate with Arsenal in the Premier League with an unspecified injury, but United coach Ruben Amorim suggested the defensive midfielder could recover for the tie. Lenny Euro is a doubt after he was forced off at halftime against Arsenal on Sunday. Euro was replaced by Aiden Heaven, who made his Premier League debut against the club he left in January. Heaven only turned 18 in September, and Amorim was struck by how relaxed the England youth teamer was at Old Trafford. Aiden is so relaxed. He seems so relaxed that sometimes he is too relaxed. But I think we have a player there. So now we have to control to tell him that it was just a game, etc., etc. Lenny has something in his foot. I think we will see if he is available for Thursday. Maybe Ugarte can come back against Sociedad. I don't know. We'll see. United were without 10 players through injury again for the visit of Arsenal, while Patrick Dorgu served the second of his 3-match suspension for a straight red card against Ipswich Town. Altay Bayender, Tom Heaton, Harry Maguire, Johnny Evans, Lisandro Martinez, Luke Shaw, Kobbie Mainoo, Mason Mount and Ahmad are all currently sidelined. Amorim said in midweek that Ahmad, initially ruled out for the remainder of the season, could play again this term. Martinez, who ruptured his anterior cruciate ligament against Crystal Palace last month, is the only one certain not to play until next season. Man United news. Keane makes worrying prediction as Christian Eriksen speaks on controversy. Ruben Amorim saw his Manchester United side come close to claiming a huge scalp against Arsenal on Sunday. It's been a rotten campaign for the Red Devils, who headed into the game in 15th place in the Premier League. But they came within a whisker of beating Mikel Arteta's title-chasing side, who are now 15 points behind Liverpool after their 1-1 draw at Old Trafford. Bruno Fernandes scored the goal which gave United the lead, and although Declan Rice restored parity, Amorim's men have moved up a place in the table as a result of the draw against their old rivals. With a huge match against Real Sociedad in the Europa League now looming, Mirror Football rounds up all the latest Manchester United news. Keane makes worrying prediction. Roy Keane fears that things could yet get even worse for Manchester United as they continue to languish in the bottom half of the Premier League. Ruben Amorim has failed to push United up the table since taking charge of his first match back in November, winning just 6 of his league games. And Keane, speaking before Sunday's draw with Arsenal, admitted that doubts would emerge in the dressing room if the results don't come. And with United on course for their worst ever Premier League season, Keane questioned whether United have actually reached rock bottom yet. Christian Eriksen admitted that Manchester United benefited from an error from Anthony Taylor in the build-up to Bruno Fernandes' goal. The Red Devils skipper beat David Raya from range, but only after Anthony Taylor set the Arsenal wall up 11.2 yards from Fernandes instead of the regulation 10 yards. The error was picked up by Gary Neville on commentary before being debated by Sky Sports pundits at halftime of Sunday's match. And when Eriksen was asked about Taylor's mistake post-match, the midfielder couldn't help but smile when he revealed even the players on the pitch felt he had sent the wall too far back. Højlund gets backing. Christian Eriksen has insisted that Rasmus Højlund will come good after the striker blanked again after coming off the bench against Arsenal. The Dane has struggled for goals this term, and a report recently claimed that some members of the coaching team were losing faith with the former Atlanta man, who had a couple of sniffs at goal after being brought on as a second-half substitute. But Eriksen gave Højlund his full backing when he was asked about his lack of goals, saying, "I am pretty confident that he will come good. He is a hard-working guy and he is unhappy when he doesn't score goals. But you can name about 10 other players in the team who don't score enough goals. He is a good kid, he will be fine." About 10 other players don't score enough. Christian Eriksen launches defense of Man United teammate. Rasmus Højlund was unable to end his goal drought in Man United's 1-1 draw with Arsenal on Sunday. Manchester United midfielder Christian Eriksen has said he is pretty confident teammate Rasmus Højlund will turn his fortunes around after going a 20th game without a goal. Højlund started Sunday's 1-1 draw with Arsenal on the bench, being replaced by Eriksen in the starting 11. Eriksen's first Premier League start of 2025 meant Joshua Zirkzee led United's attack. Højlund stepped off the bench in the second half, replacing Eriksen with 14 minutes left on the clock, and he had 2 good opportunities to end his goal drought and fire United to all 3 points. But on both occasions he was halted by some brilliant Arsenal defending. The first of his 2 chances saw him presented with the opportunity to capitalize on an Arsenal defensive mix-up, but he was too slow to react, and Declan Rice produced a great challenge to deny him. Despite his goal drought showing no signs of coming to an end, Eriksen is optimistic Højlund will come good at Old Trafford. "I am pretty confident that he will come good," Eriksen told Sky Sports. "He is a hard-working guy and he is unhappy when he doesn't score goals. But you can name about 10 other players in the team who don't score enough goals. He is a good kid, he will be fine." United took the lead right on the stroke of halftime through a wonderful free kick from Bruno Fernandes, marking his 7th Premier League goal of the season and his 13th across all competitions. On Fernandes' free kick, Eriksen said, "Very good. Happy that the wall was a few meters away. You saw how far back they were and it was beneficial for us. We felt relief from the fans in the stadium after the goal.